Greetings, this is Terry Morriston. Welcome to our orientation for EDU 508 Issues in Educational Technology. This recording is being made for Waynesburg University, and I'm using Screencast-O-Matic, my go-to tool. The purpose of this recording is to provide an overview of the assignments in the course. Our agenda, as you can see on the screen, will be to review the major components of the course, and we will start with a quick overview of Collaborate. Collaborate is a component of Blackboard that we will use to do live presentations in our class. Some of them are optional, some of them are required. As you prepare for the course, everyone should download the Collaborate software onto their computer. Instructions for this can be found under the course basics in a folder called Getting Collaborate Help. Collaborate will allow us to interact live. The screen that you see captured in the middle of the slide is actually a screen capture of Collaborate, and you can pause the recording and look at the various buttons. It's important that you practice with Collaborate as we begin the course so that when it's time to do your live presentations, you feel comfortable. There are tutorials that Waynesburg University makes available to students for this purpose. It's also important that you understand how to navigate in your Blackboard course shell. In the blue box on the screen, I have listed 6 items that I feel that you should be able to find, locate, and move through in your Blackboard course. If you're unable to do that, you should either let me know, or you should reach out to the Waynesburg Tech Support and they can help you. It's also good to know in your course a little bit about your instructor. After a 30-plus year career in public education, I have been teaching at Waynesburg for the past 5 years now. I teach several courses at Waynesburg as an adjunct professor. I also have several other jobs because I kind of like to keep busy, and those jobs include things like I read grants for the federal government and help do scoring. I score essays for major testing companies. I'm currently working as a reference librarian at a community college on a fill-in basis. So all these things keep me connected into education and help me fulfill what I love, which is teaching, reading out to people, and being involved in technology. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. Huge Pirate fan like the rest of my family, but I've since moved to Austin, Texas, where I enjoy the warm weather, the involvement of technology, the vibrant background, and how long I'm going to live here, I don't know. But the glory of the online education and online teaching is that it breaks down geographic borders. I hope during the course to get to know you, because I feel making connections is as important in an online course as it is in a face-to-face course. There are some important things I want you to know about our class EDU 508, and that is that first of all, we are on the accelerated calendar. We're an 8-week course, and we hope to accomplish in 8 weeks what you would accomplish in 16 weeks somewhere else. While that has great advantage in helping you finish your degree in a timely manner, it also means that your workload can feel a little bit intense sometimes. This particular course is a course about the issues that are involved in educational technology in the classroom. So we won't be learning how to use any particular tools, or we won't be learning to use a piece of computer equipment, but instead we'll talk about the pros and cons of using this technology into the classroom. What are the challenges? What are the landmines and the gold mines as you use this? What should you know before you try to implement a program in your classroom? So we will just be looking at the philosophy of the educational technology and what we can do to improve student learning using a broad vision. I will want you to think as though you are school administrators or technology directors, and not just about our own individual classrooms, but about the whole K-12 environment, or even preschool and we might say K-20 environment. We'll take a look at acceptable use policies, but acceptable use policies tend to focus on what's permitted. And what are the consequences if you break a rule? And I would suggest that in this course, we're going to start there but move to going beyond the acceptable use policy to the empowered use policy. And I will want you to develop recommendations. What's the best way, for example, that we can use streaming media in our class? How do we protect student privacy and still allow innovation in technology and let our teachers try out new software? Do we need security cameras in school? What's the negative and the positive to that? And I will want you to draw your conclusions based on your research and your own particular experience and perhaps your school system. So by the end of the course, you'll be making recommendations for what technologies and programs should be implemented into your school. Do you want to use Twitter as a way to communicate with all the parents in your school? That could be your recommendation. Or your recommendation could be that Twitter has no place in the school system. But for you to look at successfully implementing a technology plan in your school, you're going to have to look at a wide variety of topics. So each week, I will be asking you to look at several topics within a broad umbrella of an area and not to overlap what you're doing each week, so that if you're talking about one topic on the discussion board and then you're also writing a paper that week, those should be on two different topics so you get as broad a spectrum of educational technology issues as possible. Your syllabus provides details on the assignments, but if you pause the video right here, you can see a list of the assignments that you will complete. In your Blackboard course shell, there is a folder called Class Assignments, Journals, Midterms, Live Presentations, Quick Guides, and Final, and that is found in the weekly lesson area. This will give you a go-to place where you can get details on all of your assignments. But don't forget to also look in the week 1, week 2, week 3 folders that are in that same area of your course. Now, one of the first assignments that you have are posting in your journal about articles that you're reading. And after the first week, you're going to find your own articles based on one of the topics that's on our syllabus. Which topic is up to you? Which articles are up to you? And I would like you to compile your reading links. They can be from the internet, they can be from the ERIC database, and there is an optional textbook that you can even use. And I would like you to compile those on a sheet that is in our course, but that's up to you to find the articles and then journal about them. The important thing is that you do choose articles that are appropriate for graduate level work. Having you choose the articles is one way that I want to empower you to focus on the areas and the readings that are meaningful to you. I've also posted in our course a list of pages you can read from our optional textbook. I love this textbook, but the reason I consider it an optional textbook at this point is that the book was copywritten in 2009, and at this point now, the material in it is getting dated. The philosophy in it is still on target, but the examples that he uses are somewhat dated, and unfortunately, I haven't found a suitable replacement. So instead, we will supplement all of our work with the readings that you find. So readings in the area, and then the contemplation of those and the posting about those in the journal is one of the most important assignments that we do in the course. Another really important assignment that we do in the course are the live presentations, in which you're going to become the expert in your topic, and you're allowed to sign up for the topics in advance. And all of that is found in your course, but you're going to become the expert and then teach the rest of the class what they need to know about this particular area of technology. So, for example, if you have an interest in gaming or gamification as a way of improving student achievement and as a model for learning in the classroom, then you're going to do a presentation on the pros and cons to gaming, what other teachers need to know to make a decision about whether or not gaming is going to work for them. But in this, I want you to teach and not lecture. You're listening to a lecture now. How dull is that? I want you to teach and then use the online tools that are available in Collaborate to engage your peers. So I want you to talk to them and not at them. And we will have some practice activities in Collaborate so that you can do that. As someone who's watching the presentation, when you're a peer and not the presenter, it's also your responsibility to engage with the teachers. And we will have 2 live presentations in this course outlined for the dates on the syllabus. Now there are other assignments as well. There is a final project, there is a midterm, and 2 quick guide papers. Those are all explained in your course. Now I know that grades are very important for all students, but for graduate students and particularly for teachers. We are among the hardest people when it comes for grading. We always want to be perfect. And what I want to say to you is I'd rather you took a few risks, you tried something new, you felt out a few more ideas, and didn't worry about getting that 100%. 100% means perfection. I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. Don't strive for the 100%. Strive to achieve all that you can in the course. So now you can see I've changed it to say, no, you didn't learn everything. You learned and you stretched, and that's the A. But if you ever have any questions about your grades, know 2 things. 1, I'm very open to talking about it. 2, you can always resubmit work you're not happy with, because the grading is just a measure of your progress. And if you think you can progress more and you'd like to redo work, I'd like you to redo that. But what are my expectations of you? What will show me that you're learning and stretching? How can you demonstrate that? Well, detail is king. If you're not telling me what you've thought, what you've studied, what you've concluded, and explaining it to me in detail, I don't have a way of knowing what's inside of you. So details are king. But remember that links aren't details. So sometimes I see students who think that they're providing me with a lot of information because they've given me 3 links in their article. I want you to explain what was in the article that you found it worthy enough to be a part of your learning that week. What did you learn from it? What do you agree with in the article? Why should other people look at the article? Where is the article weak? So again, that's detail. Yep. I like specificity, and I want to see your research and your outside sources and what you bring to the table that supports your opinions, so that your opinions really are supported by the research on best practices. And one of my pet peeves, because I think it doesn't communicate well and it doesn't help you with your thinking, is the use of the cliche. And by a cliche, I mean something such as all students are better with technology than teachers. To me, that's a cliche because it's true that some students are better than their teachers, but it's not a research-proven blanket statement. So try to avoid those cliches, and what I will do if I see you using them is I'll challenge you. Can you prove that statement? Where have you read that? Where is there statistics that show that? But take ownership of the class, really. Change assignments, adapt things, make them, if you've already learned something, you've already mastered it, you've used it in your classroom, I don't want you to spend your time on that again. I want you to say, Terry, I want to move on to something else. I do want you to do is use the discussion board to engage with your peers. I really believe strongly in peer-to-peer learning, and I believe that what you as a group of students bring to the table makes this course much more enriched with your experience, your thought process, your reading. Take ownership of the course. Be a leader. That's what being a teacher is all about. But remember, you really can go home again, because the home page is where I'll put announcements. And I want you to check those announcements every time you log in, and I'll have a special announcement one day a week in the class. It will be announced in the class, and you look on the announcements which day. It'll always be the same day of the week. And when all of a sudden things are falling apart and they're breaking down, get help. Don't get frustrated, get help. Pause the video. Here's my contact information. You can post on the help forum and you can reach out to me to get help. I'm really looking forward to working with you on the course. Please be sure to review all the course basics and the information that is found in week 1 that will help you orient to the course. I hope we have a great experience together. I'm very excited.